Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Apostate Weekly. I'm your host, James.
And I'm Ryan.
And this week we have some stories about the protests in Gaza coming on for you. We have something about the Boy Scouts and something that they're changing. And we got more stories coming your way for you on Apostate Weekly this week. So with that, let's get into this intro and get on with the show. All right. We are back for another fine day of apostasy and news coming your way, folks.
News and abuse.
News and abuse. Who are we going to abuse? Except for our listeners' ears.
Oh, okay. That's probably who we're abusing, quite honestly. If you're sitting here listening to us, you might need something more than coffee in your cup. Something stronger.
Yes. Here, let me just put a little content warning that listening to this show may give you an ear infection.
Tis true. See a medic after the show. Not now. Wait till after the show.
Yes, wait till after. And make sure you watch the whole show. Don't cut out early now.
Yes, it does actually help our views. So please stay the entirety of the show. Hey, if you're watching this on the replay, you can put it on 2x speed. You can barely even listen. And it'll sound just the same.
That's right.
But we get the view. You're helping us.
Actually, speaking about that, you know what's funny? I know this is totally unrelated, but I watch, hey, Dan, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, buddy. I'll listen to like Alt Worldly's channel or Caleb channel. And when they play like the JW videos anymore, their options now for the JW website lets you play them at twice the speed that they normally play. And let me tell you, they sound a lot better. It's like they're speaking normal.
Yeah, they sound like a normal person when you speed them up because they speak so slow.
Crazy. It is so crazy how much better they sound at 2x speed.
Well, maybe we sound better, James.
Maybe. I'm going to try to do 2x speed the whole show. What do you think?
I think this is a very good idea. I'm going to talk about the Gaza and what's happening there, and then we're going to move on into what's happening on the Jehovah's Witness world, and then have a good day. Bye.
And then we have a subscribe to the boys, guys. Have a good day. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye-bye.
I'll say you're right.
Yeah.
And on that note, thanks, guys.
Well, we had a great show, so let's no.
We're going to end it there.
So would you like to go ahead and get us started this morning then?
Abso-fruitly. So if you guys don't know, I have recently been helping out with the Operation Olive Branch, which is amplifying the voices of Palestinians and also helping with aid work on the ground. So, you know, my mind is focused kind of on Israel right now, partly also because I think many of the issues that we have in this world today are because we are allowing a foreign government to run policy in our, in our government, which shouldn't be allowed. So, which one is this? Okay, here. So Israel and Egypt now are trying to point the finger and blame each other for the reason why the border is closed. The border closed last week. It's been, I think, a week and a day that the border has been closed, which means that nothing is getting in, no food, no aid is getting in. And there's even...
Is this the border between Egypt and Israel?
Yeah. Basically, it's the Rafah border crossing. And it's, that wall is an entirety blocking... It's basically blocking the entire Gaza Strip. So you can't get out unless you try to swim out, and you'll probably die out there. But even the aid that is sitting there, like you can see the rows of trucks in this picture that are not allowed in, probably 1,000. I don't even know how many trucks. And here there's a video of, I wonder if they're going to make it less bad. Of course they are. There's a video of protesters in Israel on like Egypt's side where the trucks are, like ripping the food and stuff off the trucks and destroying it. So here's some of that imagery. And this is just the other day. This is just yesterday.
Oh, geez.
So this is the level of destruction. And I'm telling you guys, I have a lot of bad news actually recently to deliver. Two of which, just a trigger warning, but two of which, three of our families recently that I am in contact with lost their babies. Three pregnant women. One was a stillbirth, and two were miscarriages. And this is due to lack of hydration, nutrition, because food aid isn't getting in. They're not getting any kind of prenatal checkups, things of that nature. So yeah, borders blocked. This is bad. We are going to see mass starvation, mass deaths from disease spreading. Hepatitis is, everybody's catching hepatitis. Babies are catching it, and their immune system is very weak. They're not going to be able to live like that.
Well, I mean, we already know that a lot of the hospitals have been getting destroyed in there, and that's already with that alone, diseases and everything are going to start to spread because they don't have the medical treatment to help anybody, especially the innocent ones on the side of this, the families with children that are just trying to survive and not be a part of this stupid war.
Exactly. Oh, that's not in Egypt. That might just be at the border side. Wait, I'm not sure about where there's more. Hold on. Not sure it would matter when there's more food in Gaza now that Camden, New Jersey and Hamas steals. Oh, okay, we have to kick her out. She's not educated whatsoever. Sweetheart, you realize that 15,000 babies are dead, and it's because this border is closed and bombs are being dropped. It's not about Hamas. You're fixated on Hamas. Like the propaganda has gotten to your brain. It's like telling me that I deserve to die because of what our army did. That doesn't make sense. Innocent people. And she's okay with that. Breaks my heart, James, that people are so callous. Like basically she's saying it's okay if our children are dead, if we starve. We've done nothing wrong, but she's okay that we're being attacked. And that's scary to me, to know that we're walking amongst people who feel that way about humans. Like, where's the compassion? Where's your empathy? And they don't have it. They've not been taught it. And it's possibly because I don't know, are you a former Jehovah's Witness? It could be because of how she was raised. We're not raised with empathy and compassion. I'm not really sure.
Well, I'm looking at the comments she's putting.
Okay.
It's the name's Jesse. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to assume
Yeah,
on
I
that
don't
one.
actually. Yeah, I'm sorry that Jesse.
Because that could be a man or a woman. So I apologize for that. But
this isn't war. That's the problem. They think this is war. This isn't war. These are indigenous people, and Israel, they're Europeans, they're Americans who've colonized Palestine. Do you not know the history? See, that this is the thing. People don't learn history.
No, we don't need to sit here and define terms.
I'm not going to define. Want to.
I mean,
define what? Stop killing
no.
babies. Stop killing babies. What's wrong with you? Where's your head? Where's your compassion?
And
Are
even
you
with one of the earlier comments they made, they said that the UN just reduced the estimated dead women and children in half from 14 to 7,000. So what? So what?
Good morning.
They shouldn't have killed 10 of those babies and women.
Right. I don't understand,
let alone
the excuses.
7,000.
Yeah. Right. Even if it was just, even if it was like a lower number, just it was 1,000. Why is that acceptable to you?
I mean, that's like
this isn't
arguing
war.
that the Bible's good because Abraham kept on getting God to reduce the number of righteous people that were in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah before he destroyed it, you know?
What if there's 10? What if there's 10
What-
good people? Will you
Oh
please
no, I
spare
won't destroy it if
everybody?
there's 10. But no, I didn't find none, so I'm gonna just go ahead and destroy it now. Yep. I mean,
Wowsies.
yes, there's death in war. Duh. No kidding. We know that.
Oh my goodness, I didn't
War
know.
war sucks. War is hell. I don't push for any wars. I want them to all be done with because they're stupid.
I know. This is about innocent people. Like, what aren't you getting? Why would you be okay? Okay, let's just say our country drops a bomb on Iran. Iran says, "I'm coming at your ass, bitch," and we're coming for the East Coast. We're coming for the East Coast, and they drop a couple bombs, the same amount of bombs that we dropped on them. So basically, what she's saying is that is acceptable that innocent people die. And what she's saying is, well, if you want to stop them, you should stop your army from dropping the bombs. Why didn't you stop that army from dropping the bombs, Ryan? Why
Yeah.
couldn't you stop the United States from, dude? Get a grip, get a hold. We don't live in a democracy. Israel isn't a democracy. That's the problem. These governments are corrupt and they're taking it out on the innocent civilians.
Yeah.
That is the issue. And our government is silencing people. So let's just move on to the next story, which is their stupid freaking here we go. This tab. There's politicians. If this doesn't tell you how corrupt the United States are, now I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but the fact that it's even being brought up, a bill to send people to Palestine if they protest against Israel. So what you're admitting is you understand that the punishment to go to Palestine is you will die. So
Yeah.
if you protest, demonstrate against Israel, the power that has a lot of control in this country, you should go to Palestine, the country they're bombing and destroying and torturing people. The punishment is death. Do you not understand that you're the problem? So you admit what's happening over there is death and destruction and genocide. And you want us to also be punished over there.
Well,
Whoa.
what better way does a cult silence its people than getting rid of them?
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want to do. So yeah, I don't know that this will pass. I mean,
It
hey,
better not pass.
I hope. Yeah, but you see and we talked last week how the definition of anti-Semitism is changing. They're conflating Judaism with a government of Israel, a nation, a fascist nation state. Hope not, but y'all, the information is in the description if you want to take a look at these stories. I am not making this up. Uh, quickly, this is all the students for Gaza, the encampments. Same thing happened during other wars. So we're on the right track. The children are leading the future. We want to divest from war.
Okay. I wanted to intercede here though and kind of
Intercede.
deviate from what our other stories are for this morning real quick because I really need to keep this going because it's still an ongoing issue. And we talked about this last week on the show with Martin and his son. And
Yes.
I wanted to bring an update to the show because I've been keeping in contact with Martin and I text him and you know he's back home, he's back at work right now. But as of the other night, I talked last time I texted him was Monday night and jeez, my dogs. Um, they've upgraded his son's case from a missing persons case to now a homicide case. So sending love to Martin and his family. I I there I understand why they did it. He shared a picture on social media showing the his son's boyfriend carrying a large 40-gallon tote out of a Sam's Club that he used Sam's credit card to purchase. And there's a picture of him carrying that out there. And when he showed me that picture, I mean, I hate to say this out loud, I really do, but my first thought was, that's that boy's coffin.
Same.
And
Yeah.
you know, it's just so terrible. And I wanted to bring an update to that because we did talk about it last week. It's so tragic. And at this point, I hate to be pessimistic about it, but I just don't see it turning out very well. And I feel so bad for him. It's the worst nightmare a parent could ever go through is losing a child like that, especially when if it's a murder or something like that. Now
And
you
missing,
know,
not having a body, right? Like, that's
and
just tormenting.
not having the answer,
Mhm. Right.
as long as you don't know, you're gonna want to hold out that hope that he's still alive, you know? And it's one of those things that like I know personally I just want to know one way or the other. I want to either know he's alive and reunite with them or know that he's passed away so that way I can mourn and move on with my life and not be in limbo about if he's alive or not. Because that's a terrible place to be in.
Yeah, it really is. I'm so sorry, Martin. Our hearts are with you.
So I just wanted to bring that update in. I didn't have that planned for this morning, but I just remembered and I'm like, I need to bring this up because it
Yeah.
is terrible.
But still, if anybody saw anything, they're still looking for answers. So
Yes.
still share, and you know, yeah, I 2,000 years ago, they are indigenous 2,000 years ago, right? I'm indigenous to Lebanon. I'm not going to go to Lebanon and steal somebody's home, right? Because
And
I've
now
been
they're trying to,
raised as a white
I
woman.
think that it's the same person under a different YouTube channel name.
Yeah, I think so
Because,
too. I love Jewish people. Actually, I'm a Jewish educator. Like, I try to teach people, excuse me, Judaism. Um, I
and
love the
you're,
religion. So,
I'm not going to give this person any more time because they're just making too many interruptions and we have other things to go
and
on to.
I'm I'm from Lebanon. I'm Canaanite, if you wish. I'm not going to go back to Canaan and steal something. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Are you going to go back to, I don't know, where are you from? Scotland, and steal someone's home?
Yeah.
That argument's so funny to me. It's like the definition of colonization. You're just going to go take someone's land who's been there for several thousand years. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye
Anyways,
bye.
so I'm going to go ahead and bring out the real first story I was going to get to.
The real.
The real story, the real Slim Shady.
Oh, no imitating.
So, the Boy Scouts of America will soon be no more. They are
Uh-oh.
rebranding the Boy Scouts in an attempt to reflect its new and more inclusive ways. So, I I get why they're doing this. They're trying to get away from all the abuse scandals that they've had in the past.
There's
And
been a
what
few.
does any organization do when they have scandals? They rebrand. Jehovah's Witnesses do it, Mormons do it, Scientology does it, Boy Scouts are following in line. Why get rid of the organization or get rid of the problems when we can just rebrand and make it look pretty again? It's like putting makeup on a turd. You
It's a
still got a
typical
turd.
tactic. It it's a definition of like a typical rebrand that a company will go through. All companies do this. They
Yes,
repackage.
they repackage. And,
Mhm.
you know, yes, they're being mocked over it, which I wholeheartedly support that. But I mean, it's another one of those places. I don't know if did you ever watch that um, show on Netflix about the Boy Scouts?
No.
They had, and this is brought out. This is from the Friendly Atheist website that I have this article from, and he says there was they faced over 82,000 lawsuits from alleged victims. And that same figure was brought up in the documentary on Netflix about him too. So you know, what are you going to do? You're going to be paying lawsuits for years on this, you know,
Right.
and this is how corporations skate and get away from being liable for these lawsuits. They'll rebrand themselves, rename themselves, bankrupt the other company and then brand it with a new company name. And oh well, we can't pay you because that company's bankrupt, and so now we're not legally liable. It's just another scam to not help the victims whatsoever. When if they would have just done things right in the first place, they wouldn't be in this predicament. But now, instead of making things right, you're just screwing over the people even more and re-traumatizing them.
Basically, it's all to skirt the issue. They find some kind of loophole to get around, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We're the ones with no morals. What the? Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah. And I always hate when somebody comes in like that and says, well, I'm an atheist too. So you're
And
not making yourself look any better when you're spitting out these terrible arguments, pal.
right. Yeah, I've seen so many hateful atheists. Honestly, y'all got a problem. We need a heart to heart, because there's so many atheists who do lack compassion and empathy. Like, they're so hypercritical. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they just think they know so better than everybody else. It's
Yeah,
annoying.
it is. And don't get me wrong. And it's just like every group, though. I mean,
That's what I'm
there's
saying. Like,
bad
they're
and
just
there's good in every group.
that's
And
all I'm saying.
atheists are
Because you're
not
just
exempt from that.
100%. That's all I'm trying to say. They have their own bias that they hold on to, but they don't recognize that they're also in that same like echo chamber.
Because there are good people of all religions, but
Yeah,
there's also bad ones.
100%. 100%. I have plenty of friends now who are very religious, and I am not, and they put up with my shit, right? Like, they listen to me spew my rhetoric. But I also listen to them, like, when they're compassionate about their beliefs and their gods and whatever. Like, I listen to that too, because it isn't about being right. It's just about understanding where we are.
So cookies make $82 billion, pay the victims. Oh, and stop allowing predatory activities. You know, they could have done that. They could have also set up um, charity organizations as well, where you could donate to help out the victims,
Mhm.
you know, where every dime goes to the victim and helping out with their therapies and cost of lawyers or whatever. Something could have been done rather than bankrupting the company and sending it to hell and screwing everybody over.
Oh, Boy Scouts don't sell cookies. It's Girl Scouts that sell the cookies.
Well, Boy Scouts need to sell some damn cookies too.
How are they
Get on
generating
it,
money
boys.
then, damn it? What are
I
they
know.
selling?
Their souls.
Oh, poor kids.
I
Oh, so
know. I had to go
terrible.
there,
There's no
didn't I?
safe places for kids. This breaks my heart. Oh,
All right. Let's go ahead and move on, Ryan.
sure, whatever. Fine. If we must.
We must. The show must go on.
Rob the Girl Scouts.
That's kind of funny.
Give me your cookie money. Yeah, never too late to start. Do you want me to move on to my JW story, which is not really a story. It's just like a little bit of a refresher.
Well, I mean, we kind of are centered around JW-ish news. So, yeah, you might as well talk about them a little bit here.
Lead into it, right? So our lovely friend Ron Pomo, he's the bestest. He's always got some good slander for us. Let me just make this bigger. There we go. I love when he puts the facts up like this, and the amount of money that the witnesses have coming in. It really breaks my heart when I think about all the things that we could do with this money if we just put it back into some kind of systems or community effort. I don't know. homeless, feeding people, you name it. So many things that we can do instead of putting this money into the worldwide work. So Ron says this is the same corporation that uses more than 240 million annually in JW donations to cover the cost of full-time servants. Invest tens to hundreds of millions each year in additional property for their multi-billion-dollar portfolio, yet brags about spending 10 million worldwide on relief work in a year for JWs, of course, only. How can you trust they know how to best use your donations you want to go and help after a specific disaster? So, and that's a great point. You spend 240 million to cover the people that you're sending out into the world to basically do this MLM work to recruit more people who are going to, bring in more money, but you're only spending 10 million to actually like tangibly help people. And do we even think that that's an accurate number, 10 million?
No, I don't think so.
And what is
And
what is it? What's that 10 million doing?
And we've also heard about the schemes that Watchtowers pulled on people in disaster relief too. They're not actually really getting the help they need, because if they were, they would come in, help them build their house or whatever, and then leave the person alone. But no, they want them to sign over the insurance checks to the corporation to get that money back as well. So what help is Watchtower really giving them? They're giving them their house back at a discounted price to them when the person could have had more money.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this person said, "Hi Mick. They say so insane that when I was asked about my charitable donations, I would say my cause supports natural disasters." Oh God. The natural disaster is the organization.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're an unnatural disaster.
Oh, yeah, right. But okay, so let's just quickly look at this news article. So the Jehovah's Witnesses investing more than 50 million on Woodbury project. This is wait, what is the Woodbury project? Hold on, actually, I'm confused. Do y'all
I
know
don't
what?
know. I haven't
Why did
heard
I
about
think
this
this was a
one.
different one? Oh gosh, they've got a new one. Oh Lord
They've
Jesus,
got a new one.
I'm sorry, y'all. I saw that, but for some reason I thought that said something different, one that they had opened. Anyway, as we know, Watchtower Bible and Tract Society takes in so much money. We don't even know exactly where it's going to. We just assume it's lining the pockets of some kind of, I don't know, CEO. Oh, is it?
I don't
That's what I
know.
was
I
that's
don't
what I
know.
was thinking.
It sounds like it's something different though, because if it was Ramapo, I think they would have still said Ramapo.
Yeah, I thought it
I
was
think this is
Ramapo, and
something
that's why I'm like,
different.
I don't know what it is. So I'll have to
I
find
haven't
the
heard of this one
article.
yet. I'll have to look into that one.
Yeah, I can try to get a hold of that article, Long Island Business News, and put the link up afterwards if you guys are wanting
Exactly,
to read
Dad.
that.
Exactly. And you, my dear father, were great for that because you had so much experience and knowledge in those construction trades. You were able to lead their crews and lend them your experience in the field for free. And
Mm,
they loved you for that. And of course, they don't love you now.
yeah,
Don't
but
worry, Dad. I still love you.
we still love you. We love you, Dad. Joe and Fran, I've been thinking about that myself, about at the end of the show, like talking about an actionable item, even if it's not necessarily something that we have to do, but maybe it's something that we should think about, for that day or whatever, just something, a takeaway from every show. And I'm going to start trying to do that because I want there to be I want it to be a show of discussion about the headlines in high control groups and how they, play in our everyday life. But also, okay, what can I take away from it that I could maybe do something about? Can I affect change? I like that. And that's a great question. And Joe and Fran, if you have any lessons, you let me know.
And we'll be happy to help present them on our show.
Yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
you know, while we do news, we also try to help out with whatever community outreaches that are needed for announcements to give support to others as well. So,
Right. We want to be part of the community. That was the intention of, Apostate Coalition, Apostate Weekly, is building community with you guys and learning with you as we learn, as we're, deconstructing. Maybe 5 years ago, I would have seen so many things completely different that I now understand far better. The moving parts and the nuances that I before couldn't see.
and speaking of the Apostate Coalition, if anybody hasn't joined our Discord server at the Apostate Coalition, I'm going to drop the link in there right now for you to come join us over there. And if you're a troll, we'll kick you out.
Yeah, let's just be careful, because we should look whoever comes in.
Oh, we'll keep an eye out
Just
on
the
that
next day.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying the next day, just because
Yeah,
we
I
should
know.
just be mindful. So
That's why
keep your peepers
added
out,
that
guys.
little
Yeah.
disclaimer in there.
Because we are a safe space. We want to nurture actual conversations. Like, this is not me telling you you have to be on my side with Palestine, and this should be a discussion where, yes, I do feel that I'm right. I'm willing to hear, where you're coming from, but your points have to make sense.
Yeah.
They at least have to be based in some kind of reality, right? Just like when we talk religious stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you can believe whatever it is that you want. That's fine. Like, you do you, boo. I'm not going to yuck your yum, but it has to be steeped in some kind of reality, because if it starts to affect my life, that's a problem. We got problems, and then we're going to have a little discussion.
And Emily, thank you so much.
I love
Thank
you,
you.
Emily.
We
I'm
really appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm just a stupid person who's deconstructing, and I want to drag y'all along with me.
And sometimes that dragon is right through the mud.
Right. You're going down with me, baby. But I appreciate it.
All right.
Right. So that's
shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay. So I put up a poll on both the Apostate Weekly community tab and the Apostate Weekly Facebook group.
Okay.
And my poll was for a story that was going to be presented in today's show, and who thought which story was the real story.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So my options here for the poll were: LGBTQ has a victory in a conservative state, Catholics start mandatory reporting for all clergy, public school bans lesbian artwork because it's offensive, and gay pastor accused of essaying child in Florida. Those were my poll options on both the Apostate Weekly group page and the community tab of Apostate Weekly YouTube. So the winner of this week's headlines, well, not the winner, so to speak, because most people voted for the actual headline. And the headline is: a public school tries to ban students' lesbian artwork because it's offensive to Christians. So for those of you who voted for that, congratulations. Y'all did great.
You know how to recognize bullshit. Congratulations. Yeah. I did not. That was my second choice. I forget which one I went with.
You went with the first one, if I remember, about LGBTQ has a victory in a conservative state.
But yeah, I think that's the one I think I was just hopeful. That was just wishful thinking.
Yeah. So
we're currently on 3 different channels. So some of us are on Apostate Weekly. Some of us are on Apostate Coalition. I'm not sure which one everybody's on, actually.
Yeah. So if everybody remembers, we are switching to one channel and one channel only on June 5th. That's why we're trying to remind everybody these next weeks, and we got the banner up. Apostate Weekly on June 5th will only be on Apostate Weekly YouTube channel only. Until then, we're still streaming to Apostate Coalition in the former Too Free channel. So once we do that, all the comments will be merged and everybody will see everybody's comments in the same area. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that is. So in 2 weeks basically, that problem will
uh
be fixed.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So 3 weeks
Three.
from
So we got 2 more weeks of streaming to these other channels, and then the third week, that's done. So y'all still got some time to get over and subscribe to Apostate Weekly YouTube channel, and so you don't miss anything that we present every week. Now, let me move on to this story because we're getting kind of low on time here.
I'll stay going.
That's Jonathan's channel.
I didn't, Jonathan. I didn't say that.
It's the coalition, the apostate coalition.
Coalition.
Not the delicious colon.
Colonlicious. Colonlicious.
Or is that bootylicious?
Makes the voice go crazy. Tasty.
So let's get into the story here about the LGBTQ artwork here, because this is kind of interesting. Because this student, this artwork was done on a non-school day. It was presented on the weekend, so it wasn't related with any school activities whatsoever. Okay, and conservatives get all bent out of shape over this because in the artwork, the words "God loves you, but not enough to save you" are written on the pages. And the discrimination and backlash of this, because the art is really supposed to show what kind of harm the religious community does to the LGBTQ community. And that's what this artist was going for. And, you know, here's what she says about her piece of art here. She says, "This piece is representative of the idea that growing up queer meant you couldn't be saved by God. Its description reads, I grew up in a religious background and that influenced this project. The idea of the glowing red cross is to represent evil in the eyes of God, and the bleeding rainbow represents devotion versus identity." So it was really a very deeply contextual, meaningful piece of art.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And this is actually in my home state of Virginia here in Staunton, at this school in Staunton, which is about, I'd say about 3 or 4 hour drive away from where I live. And the fact that this was done on a weekend, not during school hours, not during any school activities, because they had an art, I don't know if it was an art competition or an art show at this school that, you know, they scheduled this for, but had nothing to do with school activities whatsoever. And the school board was trying to go after this piece of art. Now, in the end, they weren't able to do anything because it had nothing to do with school activities. So, but they still were trying to, as aptly this commenter here just pointed out, be bullies about this piece of artwork. Absolutely, they were being bullies. And it's just sad that this person pours their heart and soul into this piece of artwork and they get this kind of backlash, especially when it had nothing to do with any of these other people or their school or anything. Just because it was at the school doesn't mean it had anything to do with the school. Much like the Christian clubs and the Satanist clubs that meet after school, they have nothing to do with the actual school time activities.
Yeah, so, right. It's just like if I do something off the clock, you should not be able to like take what I do off the clock into my job, unless I'm, you know, actively like murdering people or something. Then okay, sure, maybe, but
maybe. Just
okay,
maybe?
Fine. If that's how you want to be, James, if I'm murdering people, then it's a problem.
Well, you know, Ryan, you're atheist anyways. What do you have for a basis of morality? Murderers should be fine in your book.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not using the Bible to guide your life, like a 2,000-year-old document.
If you're not murdering by the Bible standards, Are you really murdering?
Right. If you're not doing it the divine way, through God's guidance, you know, it's
Yeah,
just
I
not
mean,
the right kind of murder.
that's right.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
Oh, yes.
Same.
So
I always like when people would ask me about like abortion, like, are you pro? Are you like, what are you? Like, I was always kind of like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't probably have an abortion unless I had to. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, and I kind of feel like everybody else feels the same. Nobody's wanting to do that. It's not like oh, I can't wait. Gonna go pick up my next abortion at the abortion store.
this are we getting punked here? We're getting punked, aren't we?
It's been one of
Punked
those
right in the
days.
colon.
Don't touch my colon. That's my no-no. Oh God.
It's the
Help
go
us.
no go hole.
You know, no wonder people don't like this channel. No wonder we had two people earlier. We're just out of control, you guys.
Yeah,
We're
we
out of
just
control.
talk shit.
We're just talking shit left and right, smearing it all over the place, rolling around in it.
And we're even taking it down under.
Yeah, I think I used to say pro-choice. I don't even really know if I knew what it meant, to be fair. I don't really even know.
Yeah, that took me a while to know what those terms actually really meant.
Yeah.
Because
Now I just say forced birth, forced birthers, and choice.
baby factories.
Yeah.
So
It is good shit. Thank you.
thank you so much. Okay. Did you have any other stories you wanted to cover?
No, you guys, I think that was it. Oh,
Oh, I
just
have one.
go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just had one more. I'll just cover the highlights real quick of it because there's not a whole lot to go into about this one. As always, our links for all our stories are in the description on the channel. So feel free to go and read these yourselves. But in Washington, the Attorney General Ferguson announced that they're going to start investigating the Catholic Church's handling of child sex abuse allegations. So just something to keep an eye on. And in this article, they have a hotline to call if you need to contact them. If you know anybody or if it's happened to you and you're in Washington State watching this, there's a number there for you to contact the Attorney General and, see what they can do for you and see how they can proceed to help you out or somebody that you may know.
Awesome. I'm happy that we continuously hear this term in the news because I don't even know that people understood what that term was and what it did, like what it signified, like clergy penitent privilege. The more people know about it and understand what it is, what it means, the likely that they will start to think, everybody should have to report on child abuse. Why are some
Yes.
people not reporting? Everybody who comes in contact with a child should have to report. So just the fact that it's being mentioned is a good direction. I'm hearing it more and more. So we just have to, and what I would love to do, when we were talking about action items, is maybe what I've been thinking of is getting some kind of email set up, like an auto email, because now I know people who know how to do that because I'm like in these circles now, like these activist circles, set up like an auto email that you can send to your representative about like, hey, the clergy penitent privilege, why it's so important. And I wish you would vote this way. Right. Like these are all
Mhm.
things that we can do to actually make change happen. Talking about it helps. This is a jump off. This is like the start. But if we could get some actionable items like in our links, like maybe a
And
link tree.
and if you could get an auto dialer with an automated message, you could call your senators as well.
True, true. And there is an app that I use regularly called Five Calls. And all you have to do is pick where you live. It gives you a bunch of legislation that you might want to discuss with your representative. You click on that. It even gives you a script. If you so desire, you do not have to ever repeat any kind of script. Make it come from your heart. So simple. It's called Five Calls. Five
Yeah, that's
Calls.
all I know about that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Let's get down. I got a couple orders of business I want to say real quick before we go. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you can, if you're watching this later, watch it to the end, or at least watch more of this if you can, because it helps the algorithms and gets it pushed out there as well. And that helps the channel grow. And we would greatly appreciate that. I put the link for the Apostate Coalition in the chat earlier, so come join us over there if you haven't already. And other than that, I think that covers everything that I have to say. Oh yeah, don't forget again. I'll say it again. June 5th, Apostate Weekly channel will be on Apostate Weekly YouTube channel only. So please get your subscriptions in and get over to there, because in a couple more weeks, we will not be streaming to Apostate Coalition or Formative Free channel either. And with that being said, did you have anything you need to say before we leave, Ryan?
No, but Lizzo shouted out Operation Olive Branch, the organization I'm volunteering with, and last night we did a live stream with Kalani. She's a favorite. She's a famous musician, like singer. So I'm just super excited about that, guys. All day stream in the nude. Yeah, I think next time we should stream in the nude. Good idea.
Yeah, that'll attract an audience for sure, or scare them away.
Scare them away.
Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop off of here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. And we will see you again next week. And also stay tuned for our outro that we are just starting to do now. So have a great week, everybody. And we will see you all next week here on Apostate Weekly.
Love you guys.
Bye.